Clouds tonight, low 47. Cloudy and mild tomorrow, passing shower and a high 67. For tomorrow night, rain, otherwise cloudy, low 42. On Friday, some sun, then turning cloudy and cooler, breezy, and the high at 55. On Saturday, cloudy and cool with a couple of showers, the high at 45. I'm Steve Williams for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
We're going to do something we did every Thursday on Canton's Morning News pre-pandemic. We're going to play the morning show top 5 game. Remember that? Here's the topic, and you need to give me 5 out of the top 10 on my list. And if you do, you win the prize. And the prize each and every morning is going to be a pair of tickets to a Motown Christmas at the Canton Palace Theater on November 22nd. So make sure you're listening. It's 6:50 each and every morning, the morning show top 5 game on Canton's Morning News.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And welcome back to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. And we got everything taken care of. We are back on our WHBC video stream on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel. So if you want to join us there, you can do that. And maybe if you want to take a look at the videos later on today, of course, they will live on our Facebook page. So just go there and like that, or check out the YouTube channel. It'll be there as well. And again, we have been talking this morning to the folks from Siffrin, and it's been great to find out exactly what Siffrin does and what their mission is. And they do have, well, as of October 1st, she's kind of a veteran now. We have Siffrin's new CEO, Christine Wilhite, and we also have Siffrin's new COO, Sean Crable. And guys, you two have been now working together since what, October 1st. So we're talking maybe 6 weeks, right? Talk about these first, month and a half and what it's been like, how it's been getting integrated and figuring out, where you're going to go from here.
I'm going to let Sean start on that. We have an interesting story there.
Integration, part of it is just getting to know the staff here at the moment, laying expectations for where we are with them. Nothing bad to say about the former staff and Brad and his leadership, but just the fear that someone else, new was in the building and requiring or harnessing the workload in the building. We've started to look at some of our processes that we have in place. We started to hold some people accountable to making sure that things are in properly and that we're tracking individuals properly. What we walked into was that COVID, when COVID had hit, it kind of, in our field, it really knocked down some things in terms of being able to do in-person services and transportation and in our Siffrin Academy in our school area. It really knocked out some services, which caused some lacks in dress code and procedures, not just in our organization, but statewide as well, and how we're tracking things. And so where we are now is making sure that we get back into doing the paperwork in the areas and supervising people the way that we needed to do from the beginning. And so it's been a little bit of a changing of the guard so far. We've really been diving into the budget and processes at this point. And so we're excited about where we can go. We get a chance here later this month to start to dream about where we want to go strategically. So we're writing we have that due to the board in January. And so we're starting to look at what our strategic plan can be as we move through some of the tiers and continue to meet with people and get to know them.
Yeah, one of the things that I had asked Christine before when we first came on was, was there one thing that stuck out in her mind that she knew that she was going to, was part of her passion. And she was thinking, this is something I want to attack, something that I really want to go after. Is there something like that for you, Sean, that you were thinking of?
Yeah, I want I want our name to be a household name. And so, I'm heavy in community and being active and engaged in our community. And so where Chris wants to make sure that we're able to get individuals jobs and do those, we're also looking at, what we can do with youth and also with outreach. And so my area is more in outreach and making sure that we spread and brand the name of Siffrin and spread the word about who we are as she takes on some of her projects too.
And Chris, I want to also ask you a little bit about, you were talking about your personal story and what kinds of things do you deal with on a daily basis for people? And Sean, you can answer this too. I mean, we had talked earlier about, preconceived notions and people are, and maybe even fears. Let's put that word out there. People have fears about talking about developmental disabilities because it's always the fear of the unknown. What are the things that you guys deal with on a daily basis?
Well, I can start. Even just in thinking about hiring more staff for our organization to provide these services, I think there's a preconceived notion that it's going to be difficult or they're going to be going into the unknown, things that they're not familiar with for themselves, and that they wouldn't be able to provide the services the way that they would want to. And one of the things I like to challenge people is to really think about at this point in their life, do they have the passion for something in their own life? Are they searching for something where they can give of themselves and feel some fulfillment? And I would tell them to try working in this field because there is so much to be gained when you help someone else to achieve their dreams and put a smile on somebody's face or help them find their independence or to succeed in a job and this kind of thing. So that's one of the things that I'm passionate about. And I'm hopeful that we can also help people to get over those preconceived notions and try this as a potential new career for themselves.
Mm-hmm. I would agree there. This field looks for a caretaker, somebody that has compassion, somebody that has empathy, somebody that understands or feels that they are blessed to be who they are in life, and that they understand that blessing that's on them is also a reflection of those that are less fortunate, and that they are looking as a community to wrap their arms around those that are less fortunate and provide a impact on their life and the things that they go through in life, to be that buffer between there. People have a hard enough task. Every person has a hard enough task just being themselves. When you add extra things on top of it, developmental things, physical things on top of it, we need a community that's built around empathy and compassion and willing to teach and help individuals. And so we definitely want to spread that word and get people to be more part of our organization and want to be a part of our organization, as I should say.
And how do you, we talk about developmental disabilities, but how do you focus on the person's abilities rather than their disabilities?
I think we do that with everyone, don't we?
Yeah.
Right? If you're fast, we will put you in a situation where you can run fast. So I think it's more of that. It's we do it with our children here. I'm a guy that has 6 kids. My wife's pregnant with a 7th here. So I'm hoping for a girl. I'm hoping, pray this up for me. But we do that with our kids naturally. We look at, if they're artists, we want to get them in art classes. If they're athletic, we want to put them in sports. And so it's that same concept there of what can you do well? How can we harness, those things that you do well? And then, the things that you may stumble or struggle with, how can we strengthen those so that down the road they become something that you do well?
If there's somebody that's sitting out there right now and maybe they have questions or they want to use the services or something like that, how do they get in touch with you guys?
Well, they can visit our website, siffrin.org, and there's information there on how to get in touch with us. You can call the office. You can ask to speak with Sean or with me. We can get you in the right, you're pointed in the right direction.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about maybe some volunteering opportunities and some fundraisers and some of the other things that you guys do at Siffrin. And again, we are talking with the new CEO, Christine Wilhite, and also the new CEO, Sean Crable of Siffrin, right here on 1480 WHBC.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I'm so glad I found this radio station.
Canton's Morning News, live and local with Jordan Miller and the Kenny and JT Show.
I like that it's local.
Local issues and community information. This is the right place. News Talk 1480 WHBC. This is the right place.
The Canton Symphony Orchestra continues the 2021-22 season with Prelude for Strings on November 14th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m., featuring young and upcoming composer Quinn Mason's Irish Dance Suite, Sibelius's Andante Festivo, and Dvorak's Serenade in E Major. This concert features an all-string program. Tickets are available by calling 330-452-2094 or by visiting cantonsymphony.org. Please note, guidelines issued by the state of Ohio to prevent the spread of COVID-19 will be observed.
Hundreds of thousands of people have said goodbye to their overpriced Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile plans and switched to Pure Talk. It's CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Did you know Pure Talk gives you the same great coverage on the same great 5G network as one of the big guys for about half the cost? The average family is saving over $800 a year. You can keep your number and keep your phone or get huge discounts on the latest iPhones and Androids. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. Or if you want unlimited data, you can still save a fortune. With US-based customer service, Pure Talk treats their customers right. Plus, they have a 30-day risk-free guarantee, so you literally have nothing to lose. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Jill50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless.
Cornelius Altman was Stark County's first honest-to-goodness millionaire. He died having started 37 businesses around the world, but he's best remembered for the equipment he made to modernize farms across America. Today, he's remembered as the name on the hospital where hundreds of thousands of Stark County residents took their first breath.
I'm Larry Hackenberg, and Altman's life is just one of the difference makers we've explored on our Time Machine radio shows. But today, I'd like to tell you about Hackenberg Financial Group, the difference makers with a more modest focus. We only want to make a difference in one life, yours, with custom strategies to smooth your life and retirement. Visit hackenberg.biz and explore the difference makers who work one life at a time.
We all want the same things. To find love, to watch our kids grow up, to stay healthy. That includes us at Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital. That's why we're open, taking appointments, and keeping you safe. So whether it's an annual exam or a new concern, we're here for you, for everything you need, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital. Don't delay. Visit cantonmercy.org.
Probably about the only station I listen to.
Canton's Morning News, live and local with Jordan Miller and the Kenny and JT Show.
I like that it's local.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I love listening to you guys so much.
I'm so glad I found this radio station.
This is the right place.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. I'm Pam Cook with you this morning, and we are talking about Siffrin. And we have with us the new CEO of Siffrin, Christine Wilhite, and also the new COO of Siffrin, Sean Crable. And, you know, guys, I heard you mention earlier, I think, Sean, it was you that said, you know, the hopes and dreams. And that's kind of the stuff you're getting acclimated. You're starting to get your processes in place. And and putting your own stamp on it, basically. But let's talk hopes and dreams. I mean, this is an undertaking that's important to a lot of people in this community, you guys included. So maybe each of you can share a little bit about what your hopes and dreams might be.
So one of the first ones that I have, and this is also one of the things that kind of sets Siffrin apart when you were asking about that earlier, we have a lot of longevity in terms of our staffing. So we have staff that have been there 30 years. And in terms of that, one of the hopes and dreams that Sean and I have as we're working together with the staff is for us as leaders to build new leaders. So we really want to emphasize, good leadership and provide the training and the resources and tools that the staff need to continue to thrive in our workspace and in the services that they're providing. Outside of that, again, Sean had brought up, we're really looking into what are the needs of the community. We want to collaborate. So collaboration is a big hope and dream. We've done some collaborating within the community already, like with Siffrin Academy. We collaborate with Kent State University to provide these services. And you can learn more about that on our website. But we would like to continue those collaborations with other organizations that provide services like ours and delve into, like we said, the needs of the community. And one of those needs right now is to provide respite services and in-home services for youth who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. So it's definitely something that we're going to be delving into.
Sean?
And so when Chris is talking about our staff, one of the areas that we're trying to improve in is that we want to be known as a specialist in our area. One that you go to for services, one that you go to on how to do certain things, trainings in certain areas. And so as we're layering our tier system for each person's job, we're also trying to open the minds of our directors to say, how can we brand this? How can we start training? What sandboxes should we be in? Which elbows should we be rubbing with and collaborating with to be seen as a leader in this field, to be seen as somebody that is teaching and educating and constantly evolving our field, and not just a place that does services, but also a place that thinks outside of the box in terms of how services should be presented. And so when you dive into that, you look at, the training that goes into that. You go into the branding that goes into that. As Chris said, we want to move into the respite area. We want to change some of our services so we can give caregivers a break, have a place where they can take a break and they can live their life, and they know that their child or the person that they're caring for is taken care of, by a staff that thinks outside of the box and is considerate of what that person may need. But we're also looking too at is our area as well, in youth. I know one of Chris's goals is to start to look at, what is our realm or what is our area of expertise when it comes to youth, and can we provide services to help our youth? We have our Siffrin Academy that we use as a byway for those individuals that graduate high school and they're not quite ready for a job at the moment. So we do some job readiness, we do some training of that. And also there is an extended portion of it that's very similar to school. So it gives them that structure that they continue to need until we find them some type of placement so that they can work.
How many clients do you guys serve?
Right now it's approximately 600. And we are currently in 8 counties. I know that can fluctuate.
There's 9 sometimes.
I know. Yep. 9 sometimes. Currently, it is 8 counties.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how are people? Are they referred to you? How do they find out about you? How does that work?
Some will get to us because they're referred to us and word of mouth, but there also is a portal that everyone is privy to, that we go on and try to recruit individuals to say that we can do services. We use the DD board and the SSAs. So when people are calling in to receive services, it's best that we have a good relationship with the SSAs, because they begin to track people out to organizations that they feel can provide those services to them.
And let's talk about volunteer opportunities. If there is someone out there who's thinking they might want to help, how can they go about doing that?
Well, I was going to say those opportunities can fluctuate. So if they call our office and say that they want to volunteer, we can put them in places where we are in need at the current time. But we do have the ability for people to donate. So if somebody's looking for, how would they be able to get some funds that would be helpful to these individuals? We have a fund called the Hope Fund, as you can see on the screen. And 100% of the donation goes to assisting individuals and giving them items, or providing items that they may be in need of that they can't afford themselves. And there are, just no end to the items that might be needed there. And so the fund has been significantly helpful to just provide those extra layers of assistance. We also have a golf outing each year in July, so you can check our website for that. And if you call and get on our listserv, you will also receive information when it comes time for the golf outing. But that is a fundraiser that you can actually participate in. Mm-hmm. We do also have ways that if you want to donate money through an estate, you can do that through the Stark Community Foundation. So again, you can contact our office to get more information on how you can do that. Sean, did you have more?
No, you did a wonderful job.
Well, I will ask you before I let you go, I want each of you to maybe just give me a little idea on if you had to tell people one thing about when they encounter a person with developmental disabilities, what's the best way, to talk to this person and be there with that person?
I would say be kind, be thoughtful, be patient. Not everyone, because of age or because of look, is mentally there, mentally ready to answer questions. And so I say that because my son is 11 and I talk to him and then I ask him, hey, repeat back to me what I said to you. And it comes out completely different than what I actually said. And I have to slow myself down and realize that he's still learning vocabulary words. He's in sixth grade and he's still on vocabulary words. And so it's not really the look of the person. It's more about understanding where they are, meeting them where they are. Just make sure that we live a life that's kind and that's has compassion for others.
Chris?
And I would add, being the mom of a nonverbal young man, that you should never assume that just because someone doesn't speak to you, that they don't understand the words that you say. So communicate things, talk to people as you would any friend, and just provide that layer of respect.
Yeah. That's great. That's absolutely great stuff from both of you. And again, anybody who has missed any of this interview that we have had, our spotlight today, you can go to our Facebook page and watch the video in 2 parts. And also you can go to our YouTube channel and watch it there as well. And we appreciate you guys, Sean and Chris, coming on with us this morning and sharing with us about Siffrin. I know it will be helpful, and a lot of people learned a lot of things today that they may not have known. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you for having us, Pam.
Thank you.
Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook.
The COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. And now the Stark County Health Department to administer those vaccines. We have from the Stark County Health Department, Dr. Maureen Amman. For parents who are listening, when they bring their child, what do they bring along and what can they expect?
It depends on the child. Most children actually do better if you tell them ahead of time what is going to happen, so you're not surprising them. Don't